Next one. Introduction of capital asset in the firm or AOP. As well as again on distribution also. Both the cases, there will be capital gain. In the case of introduction, who is the transferor? Partner. In case of dissolution, who is the transferor? Firm. Okay. So date of purchase to date of transfer. Date of purchase by partner to the date of transfer to the firm. That is the period of holding. Obviously, sale consideration is amount recorded in the books of accounts of the firm. Cost of acquisition is the original purchase price, and year of taxability is year of transfer to the firm or AOP. Obviously, it will arise in the hands of partner or the member. If it is association of person, then it is member. That is your regular case, okay? But it's transfer from the original hands in the partner to the firm. But from the firm to the partner, check. Date of purchase to date of transfer to the partner or member. Sale consideration fair market value on the date of transfer. Important. Not your book value. Doesn't matter. Not the value as decided in the partnership deed or anywhere. The fair market value. Correct? Again, cost of acquisition is the purchase price of the firm for whatever amount they had purchased it for. Year of taxability is year of transfer by the firm to the partner. And obviously the transferor is the firm or AOP. They will be taxable in your hands. Yes. Next one. Compensation in case of what? Compulsory acquisition. So compulsory acquisition is a type of transfer or no? Yes. So transfer of capital asset by mode of compulsory acquisition. So check. Very important. Okay. All of these three are very important. Original compensation received in case of compulsory acquisition. Fine. Again important. The period of holding is from the date of acquisition to date of compulsory acquisition. You will index it only up to the holding period. The original compensation you may receive it after some years also. It will be taxable again on receipt basis, but indexation only up to the transfer. You can say compulsory acquisition date. So original compensation, what is the sale consideration? The compensation received. Cost of acquisition is the purchase price. Very important. Even if you receive all the compensations in installments for the original compensation, all of it will be taxable in the year of first receipt. Very important again. Even if you received it on multiple dates or multiple years, all of it, once it is decided, it will be taxable in the year of first receipt. Again important. Interest on compensation. They are two different things now. If it is delayed, the compensation is delayed. You will get interest. So what is the head of income? Income from other sources. But again important is what? We tax only 50% of the interest, or we are assuming or deeming a 50% is allowed as deduction irrespective of legal expenses or the expenditure incurred to gain or receive that compensation. Understood or no? Very important again, okay? So it is first of all IOS, and that also 50% irrespective of actual expenditure. Understood? Enhanced compensation means what? The increased compensation. That means if at all you have filed for appeal and now you're getting something extra. Okay? Will you do again indexation, capital gain, all of the calculations? No, because it was already taxed in the year of first receipt. Yes or no? But what is the sale consideration? The enhanced compensation received. Again, it may be received lump sum or on multiple dates and multiple years. Yes. So all the calculation we are doing, nothing of CG. There is only sale consideration. But what is the year of taxability? Each year. So that is the difference between original compensation and enhanced compensation. Original compensation, all of it is taxable in one single year, the year of first receipt. Enhanced compensation taxable in multiple years. The years in which whenever you are receiving that enhanced compensation. Yes or no? Interim, what do you mean by interim compensation? The temporary compensation till the order is finalized. Correct? It will be taxable in the year of final order. That means later on maybe. Correct? Or in the year of receipt, whichever is obviously later. Understood? If order is given, then you get something in some time, and then the final order will come later on. It is taxable in the later of them. Okay? Whenever you are receiving or final order, whichever is later. Only for interim compensation. Yes, everyone? During this compensation, you don't have to do anything because the AO, assessing officer, will redo the calculation within how many years? 4 years from the date of transfer. Check. Pass order within 4 years. end of the PY in which court order is passed. So the year in which order is passed, from there within 4 years. Correct? Legal expenses are allowed as transfer expenses. Okay, in the case of reduced compensation. Fine. Then shares, securities brought from company. This is simple actually. Date of allotment, yes or no? Yes. Always for shares, keep in mind, even if they are unpaid, partly paid, or whatever it might be, date of allotment. Even in case of right shares, we have seen the right you will get, then you may apply, then you may renounce, or whatever, then you will again get the shares sometime later. What is the starting of period of holding? Date of allotment of shares. Okay. Sale price, purchase price is okay. Fine. And brokerage period obviously is allowed as transfer expenses for regular shares. That is not a problem. Shares brought or securities brought from the open market. Fine. Again, date of purchase in this case. Allotment means from the company, no? Purchase from the market, another shareholder, to the date of transfer. In case of consolidation or subdivision of shares, cost of acquisition will be recomputed. If one share is becoming into 10 or 10 shares are becoming into 1, we will just do the recomputation of the cost of acquisition. There is nothing but changing of the ratios. Okay, not very, you can say, technical. Bonus shares, you have seen that before 1/4/2001, FMV of 1/4/2001. On or after 1/4/2001, nil. Again, period of holding from the date of allotment of bonus shares to the date of transfer. Yes or no? Sweat equity shares, very important. Again, date of allotment to date of transfer. What is the cost of acquisition? Fair market value on the date of exercise of option. Yes or no? That is your capital gain. So actual sale price minus FMV on the date of exercising the option. That will be capital gain. Yes, for sweat equity shares. Another effect of this is salaries. It is taxable in the nature of perquisite. Important, check. It is perquisite in the year of allotment of sweat equity. What is the value of valuation of perquisite? Again, FMV in the date of exercise of option. That is the sale price now for the chapter of salary minus the amount paid to the company. It is just like conversion of capital asset into stock in trade. So money paid to the company, then FMV in the date of exercise of option, and then sale price. The earlier period is what? Your salaries, perquisite, and FMV to your actual sale price is capital gain, another head of income. Understood or no? Very important. Okay. Right shares is done. Rights entitlement is renounced in favor of maybe some other shareholder. Yes. So date of offer to the date of renouncement, that will be the period of holding of transfer of rights entitlement. Usually this will always be what? Short term, because we have seen in company law also, you have to do the offer between 15 to 30 days. So it will be short term. Yes. Purchase price was nil, you got the rights entitlement free of cost. Then the other person, very important for him, the person who got the renounced, he got the right from the existing shareholder, correct? He has two costs, to pay to the shareholder and then to pay to the company also. Very important. Okay. Then sale of demat shares through recognized stock exchange or sale of demat shares through otherwise than recognized stock exchange. What is important is STD is not allowed as deduction if it is in the head of income of capital gain. The same thing, STD and CTD we have seen is allowed as deduction in the chapter of business income. That means if you are showing the income in business income, then STD, CTD is allowed. If you are showing in capital gain, then it is not allowed. How do you determine business income or capital gain? Depending on the frequency of transactions. How many buying and selling you are doing? Are you a trader or are you a investor? Are you borrowing money to, or you can say, buy and sell shares, or are you doing from your own savings? That will determine. Okay, right now not part of a syllabus in detail. Fine. Very important is again buyback of listed shares. Who is the transferor? Shareholder. Who is the transferee? Recipient is company. Correct? Pay attention now. Date of purchase. Correct? Maybe from shareholder or allotment, and the date of buyback. That is the period of holding. Buyback price paid by company to the shareholder. That is the sale price for the shareholder. Purchase price at what he had originally taken for. Pay attention. Important. So it is taxable in this case. Pay attention. Regular case. Listed shares sold by shareholder, taxable in the hands of shareholder. Yes or no? Pay attention. For unlisted shares, pay attention. Who is buying back? The company. Unlisted shares, the company is buying back from the shareholder. Domestic company, additional income tax at the rate of 20% plus surcharge 12% and plus cess of 4%. On your calculator, immediately do 20% plus, or just write down 20 plus 12% plus 4% is 23.296. That is the effective tax rate. Yes, 20 plus 12% plus 4%. Taxable in the hands of company. Taxable, right down there. Taxable in hands of company, and that's why it is exempt in the hands of shareholders under section 1034A. Again, the nature may be same, but taxable at one time in the hands of shareholder and taxable at another time in the hands of company, depending on listed or unlisted. If it is listed, taxable in the hands of shareholder. If it is unlisted, it is taxable in the hands of company. Taxability I am talking about. Understood or no? Very important. Got it? Specified agreement 45(5)(a). What is this case? Usually about joint development agreement between the landowner and the builder. He transfers the capital asset, he gets back the capital asset. He transfers maybe let us say land or building or both. And again there is an agreement with the builder, and again he gets a share in the developed property in the nature of again capital asset, land or building or both. Yes or no? Yes. So check. If all the following conditions are fulfilled: individual HUF transfer capital asset being land or building or both, there is again a specified agreement between that assessee and the builder. Again the consideration which he gets received, it includes share in the land or building or both or in the project. Usually I said no. He gets a new flat, new building, new shop, maybe whatever. The assessee, pay attention. The assessee, that means the original owner. Yes, he has not transferred his share, that means the consideration in the project, on or before the date of issue of the completion certificate. Okay, for whole or part of the project as issued by the competent authority. That means he is still the, you can say, owner of that share in that agreement. Are you following here? In that case, the full value of consideration received or accruing as a result of transfer of capital asset shall be equal to stamp duty value of the land or building or both, but on the date of completion certificate. Yes or no? Everyone? And if he has received something extra in cash, that will also be added. Okay, so FMU on the date of completion. When? Till the time he has not yet transferred. Yes or no? The capital gain shall be chargeable to income tax as the income of the PY in which the certificate is issued. Very important. He may have not yet sold the share in the property, yes, but is taxable in the year of completion certificate. What is the sale consideration? Stamp duty value, SDV, on the date of, you can say, completion certificate. Correct? But what if it transfers before, on or before the date of your this completion certificate? Then what will happen? CG will be deemed to will arise in the year of PY in which such transfers take place. Correct? And the provisions of the Act other than 45A, so 45A will not be applicable. 45(5) is applicable only if the share is not yet transferred till the completion certificate. Fine. The rest of it is okay. That is not much to be done in detail. Fine. Next one. Advance money forfeited. Very important again. Forfeited means gudu. That means taken over by you. Maybe by an agreement or whatever might be there. But that means you are not returning it. There is an income or no? Yes. Income tax says income is any income. Either legal, illegal also. That will be taxable. So all the effect we are checking. So simple, advance money means what? You are entering into negotiation for transfer of capital asset. You received some advance, but the transfer did not happen for any reasons. Correct? So this is a benefit to the assessee or no? There is a benefit. So if the advance was forfeited on or after 1st April 2014, this is a fixed date, not changing it. This is a fixed date. On or after 1/4/2014, it will be IOS. Income from other sources. Do not touch the chapter of capital gain for any advance forfeited on or after 1/4/2014. Yes, 1/4/2014. If the advance is forfeited on or before 31st March 2014, then do not touch IOS. It is effect in capital gain. What will you do? Reduce from the cost of acquisition. What is the cost of acquisition? The WDV or FMV was on 1/4/2001, whichever is higher. Not WDV is your actually cost of acquisition, whatever it might be. Correct? Whatever is higher, that figure we take. Then from that we will reduce the advance forfeited. So advance may be forfeited in 2005 or 2010 or even 2012. We will reduce it from the cost of acquisition. Yes or no? Very good. Then the rest of it is not there. 50C and 43CA. 50C is applicable. 50C first of all, which head of income? Capital gain. 43CA, which head of income again? BGBP. So there are something common as well as different between the same. But obviously what is happening is transfer. That is there. In PGBP it may be transfer of your other than capital asset, whatever it might be. And capital gain, what you are doing? Transfer of capital asset. Correct? Pay attention. It is applicable in case of sale of transfer of immovable property, being land or building or both. Yes? Immovable property, it is a capital asset. Yes or no? Yes. If the sale price received is less than SDV. Yes? Sale price received is less than SDV. Are you following or no? Stamp duty valuation is higher than the actual sale price. We take stamp duty as our sale consideration. Very good. But again, there is a certain amendment in section 50C. Very important check. If the SDV fixed by stamp duty valuation exceeds 105%, then we take SDV as the sale consideration. Yes or no? Everyone check. If the actual sale price is 100, pay attention. If the actual sale price is 100, SDV is 110. What is the sale price we will take? 110. If the actual sale price is 100 and the SDV is only 103, then 100 we can take. So they are allowing a margin of 5%. Understood? Very important. Fine. So only if it exceeds 105%, then we take SDV as the sale consideration. If it is not exceeding 105%, that means up to 105% is allowed, then we take the actual sale price as the sale consideration. But in 43CA, what happens? If it is just even 1 rupee above or 1% above, we take the SDV as the sale consideration for 43CA. Yes? Then the process is there. Yes or no? If the assessee does not agree that the actual sale price is less than the SDV, or SDV is highly valuated, or the fair market value. Now the third point comes into picture is what? Fair market value is less than SDV. He has couple of options. He can go to court or he can appeal to the AO. AO will transfer to valuation officer. Yes or no? So all these things can happen. Everyone got it? So if he goes to the court, then whatever the court will decide, that is the final price. Yes, check. Sale consideration with the actual sale price, or SDV is determined by court, whichever is higher, that is okay. But if he goes to AO, AA goes to the valuation officer, okay, to calculate what? Fair market value. The sale consideration will be SDV or fair market value, whichever is obviously is lower. Obviously nothing can be lower than actual sale price, never ever, because that is the amount you have received, not for real. Are you following or no? So FMV or SDV, whichever is lower, subject to actual sale price. Understood? So your FMV or SDV cannot be lower than actual sale price. Fine? Well, you have to take the SDV as on which date. Then there is a difference between what? Agreement to sell and the sell date. Correct? So check. In case of 50C, what is the asset? Land or building held as capital asset. We will take the date of agreement, not date of registration. When will you take date of agreement? Check. The consideration received in part or in full. Part is also allowed. So that means advance is also allowed. Okay, again by your regular channels only. Which one? Your banking channels, account payee check. We don't use cross check. What is the concept? Account payee check, not cross check. Yes? Or bank draft or ECS. Fine. But on or before the date of agreement. This has to be your like a advance case. In that case, we take SDV of date of agreement. If any of the conditions are not fulfilled, we take the date of registration as the for the sake of SDV. Yes. And over here in 43 CA, consideration full in or in part. Here there is no problem. Your cross check is allowed or no? Your cross check is allowed. Yes. In that case, we take the check date of agreement. Otherwise, we take the date of registration. Yes, everyone. And then 50 CA. Which type of capital is it? Unquoted shares means just your unlisted shares. Correct? Now it is unlisted or unquoted. That means we do not have the market price available with us. That's why we take the fair market value as the sale consideration check. Where the actual consideration is less than, what is the type of asset? Unquoted share. Yes. So actual sale price is less than fair market value. We take the fair market value as sale consideration. That's why 50C and 50CA, they are obviously similar. Fine. The value so determined means FMV will be the consideration price. Yes. Unquoted means obviously which is not listed on the recognized stock exchange. Fine. Okay. And last one before the break, before the second part we will take up. Transactions not regarded as transfer. These are your exempt transfer. Section 47. That means, let us say there is Mr. A and then I'm just writing Mr. A and then there is Mr. B. He transfers to Mr. B. It is not taxable in the hands of Mr. A because it is not a transfer for capital gain. So for Mr. B, who is the previous owner? So Mr. A's cost of acquisition, Mr. A's cost of improvement, Mr. A's period of holding, that all will be allowed to Mr. B. Yes or no? So check some of the exempt transfers. Distribution of the from HUF, either total or partial partition. Yes or no? Yes. Then under any transfer by under a gift, will or irrevocable trust. Irrevocable means not cancelable, cannot be, you can say, cancelled. Under very important reverse mortgage scheme. Approved reverse mortgage scheme is also not a transfer. Any transfer of any work of art, archaeological, scientific or art collection, book, etc., etc., etc. to the, pay attention, to the transfer can be anyone. Your important is the transferee, government or university or National Museum, National Art Gallery, National Archives or any other public museum or institution notified by the CG, which is of national importance, etc., etc. That is an exempt transfer. Yes or no? With, okay, with or without consideration. Correct? So check next one. Obviously by way of conversion of bonds or debentures, debenture stock, etc. into shares or debenture. Just the conversion, okay? And preference shares into equity shares. Conversion is also not a transfer. These are not exchange. You are giving preference and you are getting equity. Practically may be exchange, but not, you can say, transfer for capital gains. Yes. Then by consolidation or subdivision of units or shares, same thing. Okay. And by transfer of sovereign gold bond issued by RBI. Okay, by way of redemption. Bonds obviously are redeemed, even that is not a transfer. Yes. Then no capital gain will arise on transfer of capital gains because of business restructuring. That means you are just transferring to yourself, but under a business restructuring scheme. Which one? Holding to 100% subsidiary or 100% subsidiary to holding. Scheme of amalgamation or demerger or conversion of company into firm. Yes or no? Then firm to company. A firm is succeeded by a company, whatever might be the conversion. Fine, firm to company, correct. The transfer of private company or unlisted company into an LLP. This is company to LLP. Yes. Then sole proprietorship to company. Yes. So it was correct. Firm to company, and here you have now proprietorship into company. Yes. All of these obviously are not the transfer cases because the assessees as such are same or similar group only. Understood, Leah? So they will not be your you can say transfer. No capital gain will arise in the hands of transferor. Yes. Take a break.
Yes.